Hi, it's John DL here with the second blogcast for February 2011. It's aimed at resources for tomorrow, the 8th of February's Safer Internet Day, but obviously can be used at any time in the year to address safeguarding issues. We, the Regional Support Centre, have already run a number of workshops on the Common Inspection Framework and safeguarding, and we've shared with learning providers two main resources that you can download. There's this one, Technology in the Common Inspection Framework, which looks at management, personnel, technology, stakeholder engagement, tools for e-safety, and there are one or two extras and so on. There is also the Engaging with Learners safeguarding resource, both produced in XE, eLearning XHTML editor. For those who have already downloaded this particular resource, can you download it again and remove the one that you had? There's been a slight issue with one of the images that we used. We were under the understanding that it was Creative Commons for non-profit use for repurposing Creative Commons, and it wasn't. So remove the one that you've got if you've already got it and download the latest, and or use the one online. This again looks at what changes have taken or are taking place, learner provider aims, and then it looks more specifically at things like bulletin boards, forums and newsrooms, chat rooms, email, instant messaging, etc. And in each case it looks at the risks involved, supported by multimedia and so on. Note, some of the websites that I'm going to go through today are based in the USA, so some of the content has links to USA agencies. Those are not appropriate, obviously, here in the UK, things like the law enforcement agencies, but the resources are useful, and with review and appropriateness can support you a great deal. The first find, it's the usual 7, is Staying Safe Online. It's a website from Teaching Ideas. Let's just go to the website. It's in their teaching themes. I've said this many times before. Older learners can be engaged with safeguarding and e-safety if they're put into the role of protecting younger friends, family, friends of family and so on. Those engaged with family learning and or initial teacher training have got a responsibility to ensure that parents, guardians, carers or new teachers and NQTs are aware of how to keep young people safe. This particular resource has got hundreds, and I literally mean hundreds, of lesson ideas, activities, resources, display materials, videos, class display photos, games, apps, jokes and links, all of which are linked to eSafety. Perfect for the 8th of February 2011, Safer Internet Day, but of course they can be used at other times in the years as well. If you look here, there is the resources here for ideas. If I scroll down, there are display resources, there are video clips, photos, games and apps, etc. Okay, a resource well worth looking at, and as with all of these finds, the link has been at the top of the page while I've been talking. The next find is Netsmart Workshop. That's the doorbell, which you expect when you're doing recording. Somebody else will go. Over the year there have been a number of, numerous unfortunate incidents where young children have been exploited online by paedophiles and criminals. To access some help in keeping safer, parents, learners, practitioners, etc. should visit this particular website. It's got sections. Let's just zoom in so you can see. Oh, that was a bit silly. I don't know what I did there. It has got sections here for parents and guardians, educators, the law enforcement's not appropriate, teens, the tweens, and kids as they call them, which obviously is for children. If you scroll down the page, you'll see that you have got an option. You have got the option to choose issues. Just bear with me, I've got a bit of a problem here. That's better. Okay, you'll see that the issues covered are things like blogging, cell phones, cyberbullying and gaming, and underneath there predators, revealing too much, and social networking. Again, I would suggest that those different aspects can be skipped to by clicking on the relevant category or by watching relevant videos and presentations that are available online. On Guard Online is another resource, the third one today, which has got practical tips to help individuals be on guard against internet fraud, to secure their own computers and to protect their personal information. If we go on to the website itself, you'll notice, again I'll zoom in for you so you can see, there are topics where you can learn top tips for computer security, things like Netsmart, avoiding scams, broadband, computer disposal, stop, think, click, an overview of computer security, email scams, health online, identity theft, internet auctions, privacy, and the list goes on. You're quite capable of looking at those yourselves. In the games section, it's got facilities to test your cyber smarties. There are some interactive quizzes here. There's also things on spam, spyware, phishing, file sharing. The games themselves can be added to websites, to VLEs and to blogs, etc. The third section is videos. Again, there are videos on online safety, phishing, keeping children safe online, reducing spam, protecting PCs against unwanted intrusions, and the clips again can be embedded on other websites in VLEs, etc. The other section is accessed from the top here by clicking on Tools. Perhaps I should have chosen a better colour than that as I'm going over blue. Let's put it over the top. There you go, nice and yellow. The Tools section excuse me, has got practical tips and tools that can be used to be safe online. There's also a good glossary of internet terms and tutorials on topics such as spam filtering and wireless security. It's well worth a closer look. Let's just click on games and I'll show you how this all works. Auction action, for example, it'll load up in a minute. You can play auction action. Let me just check on sound when it comes in. The money values here in dollars I think are irrelevant because a lot of people will use auctions that are based in America. Again, you can click to begin and I'll do that in a minute, but if you click on grab this game, you've actually got the code that you can use to embed that game within your VLE or website, and all you need to do is to copy that, highlight it and do the usual Control-C to copy, and then paste that into the page that you're going to use. If I just clicked to begin, there's a bit of text about auction. There's the usual mystery item free gift to get them to think about whether or not they've got a chance of winning it. And when you click on continue, okay, you've got a choice of looking, let's just zoom in so you can see, at some auction basics, some payment options, types of fraud and some auction tips, and you can choose a simple, which is 100 points, up to the more difficult at 300. And by clicking, let's just escape from that, by clicking on, let's say, 300 on auction basics, let's just zoom in so you can see it, you know, true or false. Some sites require sellers to pay a fee for every auction, whether they sell it or not. And you either click on true or false. Okay, I'm not going to go through all that. The videos are very similar. Again, if I click on the videos at the top, there are a whole group of videos here that you can actually play. They're nice because they're very short, about 6 minutes or so each at the maximum. Do have a look, it's well worth a closer look and could be used in tutorials, etc. Right, find number 4, stay safe online. This has been produced by the National Cyber Security Alliance mission and is to educate and therefore to empower a digital society to use the internet safely and securely, whether it's at home, in work, or in the American term school, so that's university right the way down to kindergarten as they'd call it, or nursery school. And it's to protect technology individuals' use and the network individuals are connected to and shared digital assets. On this particular page you can see in the home there's a number of different selections. Let's just zoom in so you can see them. Protecting your devices, yourself, your children and fixing problems, etc. In the classroom, let's zoom in again for you, there are the 3 key pillars: C-Save, lessons and teaching materials, and Key Stage 12 studies. For higher education, and that's probably the one that most people will be interested in. I'll come back to that. But for businesses, for example, you know, protecting your business, protecting your customers, your employees. There's a bit on the SMB security studies and resources for small and medium-sized businesses. And there are tools and resources in the same way. Okay. And there is the Cyber Security Awareness Month, which is an American thing, and some things may be appropriate, some may not. As I said, the higher education section would probably be more interesting. There's a section for students, one for administrators, and one for higher education. For students, there are 2 PDFs to download. One, what college students can do, and the second one, the C3 method of staying safe online. The C3 method being cyber security, cyber safety, and cyber ethics. I think that those PDFs can be adapted for any of the sectors we support, whether it's adult and community learning, work-based learning, specialist colleges, etc. For administrators, same sorts of things. There are 2 downloadable PDFs that could be amended. One is what college administrators can do, and the other is a culture of cyber security. Both worth reading and, of course, taking ideas from to create your own resources. And the last part, the higher education campaign, is based in the USA, but there are at least a couple of clips there that you may well find useful. Okay, next is a YouTube video. While we're talking about staying safe online, their YouTube channel is well worth looking at. The link is at the top of the page. There are 12 clips. This is one. Let's just give you an example. Hopefully it will load relatively quickly. Okay, Leaky Lewis.
So they call you Leaky Lewis.
I prefer to use my middle name, Robert.
Robert doesn't alliterate with Leaky.
Tough luck, Shakespeare.
Okay, Leaky. Tell us why you leaked the specs on Acme International's new digital widget.
Okay, I'm not going to play it all. It's a video among several others that's well worth having a look at. Penultimate find, GetNetWise. GetNetWise, let's just go onto the website. It's again a USA public service brought to visitors to the website by a wide range of industry corporations and public interest organisations. And I'll quote from the website: the GetNetWise coalition wants internet users to be only one click away from resources that they need to make informed decisions about their family use on the internet. You can see, I'll just zoom in so it's a bit clearer for you, the featured blog posts, the last one being on the 31st of January, but they're all relevant to and safeguarding. There are some how-to video tutorials, keeping children safe online and stopping unwanted emails and spam. I'll have to just zoom out and scroll down a bit further, and we can zoom back in again. And then there's protecting your computer and keeping your personal information private. Lots of resources in there again that you will find useful for both teaching and learning and for your own personal development. And finally, from our friends at makeuseof.com, another interesting post. And I've had some interesting feedback on this when I tweeted about it. It's 9 ways to prevent identity theft from your online activities. If we go on to their website, makeuseof.com, and scroll down the page, you'll see that there are bits, well, it's 9 things obviously. Watch out for phishing websites, using an antivirus, anti-malware program, using OpenDNS, unique passwords for every website, shop only at reputable websites, don't divulge too much personal information via social media, monitor your credit profile, secure your wireless network, and number 9, only download software from reputable sources. There's another small bit on what else can I do. It's well worth having a look if you want to prevent identity theft from your online activity. I hope that you and your learners never experience identity theft, and if you have or know somebody who has, then you're aware that the experience can be harrowing. The burden is upon individuals to protect their personal information while using the internet. I know that there are a large number of managers, practitioners, techies, etc. that will tell you that the only perfect way to protect yourself online and to prevent identity theft is not to use it at all. Inspectors under the Common Inspection Framework won't accept that as an option. As learning providers, you have a responsibility to ensure learners are aware of how to use technology safely, and that includes the internet. I hope that the resources that I've flagged up are useful for you to help your learners to become safe when using the internet, and I'll chat to you again on my next vidcast, which is going to be fairly soon.